agility, range of motion, core strength. In today's video, we are going to be discussing 3 animal flow and movement exercises for beginners and intermediate practitioners that you can use to improve these aspects of your training. Let's get after it. Here at Train Spartan, we are 100% committed to helping you become the best version of yourself that you can be, both mentally and physically. And if you are committed to that as well, then go ahead and click like and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you can be updated on any new videos that come out. Today's question of the day is, what are your favorite cross-training routines or exercises that are designed to target increased flexibility and mobility? Go ahead and put those in the comments below and share with your Spartan brothers and sisters. So animal flow and movement exercises are really nice for a couple of reasons. One, they're really low impact. So if you are experiencing an injury from sports, or any other activity, it can be a great way to recover while still, strengthening your core, strengthening your body, and also increasing your mobility and range of motion. 2, it is also helpful to do these because they mimic movements that you might need to do in your everyday life. It's going to increase the range of motion of different joints, being able to reach for things, reach behind to, unfasten things or tie something behind your back if you needed to, move something around. And it provides core stability. We're going to talk about 3 more today, and we talked about 3 previously. If you haven't watched that video yet, go and look at movement training for beginners. But today we're going to do 3 more that you can still do as a beginner, but they're a little bit more advanced, so maybe a little bit more of an intermediate. You want to have some flexibility and range of motion before you're going to be able to do these well, but you can start at any level. And the first movement we're going to talk about is the walking downward dog. And so if you've done yoga before, you'll know what the downward dog position is, but you're going to get on your hands and on your feet, and you're going to try and arch your back and push your butt back so that your heels are touching the ground or as close to the ground as possible. And again, if you're not very flexible, that's fine. Do what you can, but you should start to feel some stretch in your hamstrings and especially in the calves. And so once you've gotten into the position, then you can start slowly walking forward, alternating, opposing feet and hands to move forward. And it's going to have, some core, being able to keep your back arched up, as well as using shoulder muscles, some balance with your hands. And again, it's going to be getting some stretch in there as well. And so this can be a great exercise to do to kind of start out the day and get stretched and moved out. The second movement are back arches. And what you can do is there's sort of a beginner level, an intermediate, and then an advanced. And so as a beginner, what you can do is just lay on your back with your back flat, bend your knees and bring your heels towards your butt and get them as close as you can, and then kind of push off with your toes. And again, if you're a beginner and don't have a lot of back mobility, then you can just stay on your shoulders, arch your back, and get your hips off of the ground. And you can do, like a sort of a bridge and hold it there for, 10, 15, 30 seconds, longer. You can do kind of arch ups where you are actually using the muscles and working some of those muscles, your glutes, to get your hips off the ground. And as you start to get more advanced, what you can actually do is put your hands behind your head and put your palms down with your fingers pointing towards your toes. And you can arch onto your neck, as well as, possibly get completely on your hands and put your weight on your hands as well. And as you get more flexible, you'll be able to bring your feet and your heels in closer towards your butt or towards your back to get more arch and to get more lift off the ground. And you want to be careful with this if you haven't put a lot of weight on your neck before, or if you haven't done neck strengthening exercises. You want to be careful not to injure your neck if you're actually going onto your head to do these bridges. And then the more advanced technique would be to actually push completely off the ground with your hands so that only your hands and your feet are touching the ground. And again, you can hold this pose, as long as you can, 10, 15, 30 seconds, or you can do like back arch push-ups where you're pushing yourself up off of the ground. And again, that's, fairly more advanced. You have to have a lot of range of motion and strength and also flexibility before you're going to be able to do that. But just slowly work your way into this one. You don't want to hurt your neck or your back. And then the last movement flow we're going to talk about, and this is one of my favorites, is called the lizard walk. And it kind of mimics a lizard's movement. There's an alligator walk that's kind of fairly similar as well. But what you're going to do is you're going to get down in a plank position with your arms spread out fairly wide, more than shoulder width apart, and then also feet same way. And you're going to start by reaching out with one hand, and then the leg that's on that same side, you're going to push it, like straighten your leg out and turn your foot towards the opposite leg. At the same time, you're going to be bending the opposite leg at the knee as well as the hip and bringing it towards your other arm and putting it down. And it takes a little while to get this coordination down, and it can be a little bit awkward at first, but just take it really slow. And, after a couple of reps of doing this, it becomes a little bit more natural. And then you're just going to repeat the same movement on the opposite side. You're going to bring the opposite arm forward now, put it down in front of, or I guess ahead of your other arm. You're going to straighten the leg on that side, kind of point it or rotate it towards your opposite leg. You're going to bend the leg at the hip and the knee, bring it up towards your other arm, and then, repeat, move that arm forward. And at first, this takes a lot of upper body strength and coordination, core strength. And so you're probably going to start fairly far off the ground. But if you want to get lower, that's really where this movement shines, is the lower you can get, the more work you get out of it. And again, it's super low impact. But to get to that low point, what you can do first is actually alternate doing push-ups. So you do a lizard walk, do a push-up, move the other side, do a push-up. And this will just get you that upper body strength so that you can then get lower, keep yourself stable at a lower level, and then start to lizard walk as low as possible to the ground. And I actually think it looks kind of cool, but it really works a lot of muscles. You're using, again, your upper body, your pecs. You're going to be using some shoulders, your core to keep stable. You're going to probably start to feel this in your thighs as you use your quads and bring your legs up and keep your back, the back half of your body, stable on one leg a lot of the time. But it's great, again, for range of motion of multiple joints, and is just a great way to, start your day, get the blood flowing, and do something that's really low impact. So I would recommend doing, these movement exercises from this video, and again, as well as the previous video that's on the channel. But these will really help increase your range of motion, your flexibility, your core strength, and it's all super low impact and is great for cross training or for recovering from injuries. So go out there, get these movement trainings in, get after it, train hard, and train Spartan. We'll catch you next time.